Well, hello there, party folk. It's a beautiful Valentine's Day, and you are watching the ALT+TAB show with Steve
and Jenny.
And we have an awesome show for you guys today, and thank you so much for tuning in. I think we should probably start it off with maybe a little bit of Valentine's Day stuff, Jenny.
Yes, I have selected a special Valentine.
Oh God.
For our viewers. Could you show them?
I can show them. Let me do that right now. Ta-da!
There it is. Be my Valentine or I'll kill myself.
And not just like one way either. This is like a revolver to the head, and then as you're like passing out, the rock sinks you to the bottom. Is that what I'm supposed to think
here?
So what is this coming from, Jenny?
Okay, so apparently our grandparents were very morbid people, because in the 50s or the 40s and 50s, Valentines were very scary and creepy.
Wow.
I think I showed you a few that were cannibalism themed, and a couple more that were like super scary stalker themed. So if you ever want to have a good laugh, look up scary vintage Valentines. But I thought this one was the best one, because like that skunk, he's either dropping the rock or shooting himself in the head. If he shoots himself in the head, he's going to drop the rock. Either way, he's going down.
Yeah, seriously. If he misses just by the sheer gunshot, scaring himself. Yeah, that's phenomenal, Jenny.
Thank you. You have a Valentine for our viewers too.
Yeah, I got a little Valentine's Day thing for you guys.
What you got?
I saw this on the Science Channel, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I was like, "Happy Valentine's Day from the bottom of my heart, Nebula."
Aww.
So yeah,
your heart's so big, it's its own nebula.
It is. It's a nebula. It's going to bring life to a whole new species, hopefully, at some point. Anyways, I'm carrying on.
Valentine's Day, you didn't get me anything, Steve.
I've had kind of a bad series of problems with that, and I just don't want to kind of mimic that.
Gift giving not going over so well.
Not so well. Yeah, people not doing what I expected them to do with that. So surprising and funny, I suppose. But yeah, I think what's our very first story today, Jenny?
Today. What are we talking about today? We are going to be talking about. This one is one you found. Facebook knows when you fall in love and when you're going to break up.
This is very, very fascinating. First, I love this graph. This is awesome because it's sort of heart-shaped. Although I'm sure that was just me making that assumption that it looks like that. But one quote I like from the story in particular, basically about half of all Facebook relationships will have survived 3 months, that have survived at least 3 months, I should say, are likely to survive up to 4 years or longer. Basically what ended up happening was Facebook is taking all of this data mining that they've been doing on all of us or anybody else in the audience that actually has a Facebook page, and trying to look at the events that have happened, whether or not you've changed your status to being in a relationship or not, and then just making information inferences and statistical analysis on that information. So I'll scroll down here and show you one of these graphs here. It's a single...
It's bleak.
Yes.
It's a little bleak.
Lower on the end here is the relationship formation rate is lower towards the bottom of this graph, so down here, and then higher as you go up. But this is basically your single rate versus the relationship formation rate. So how quickly you might get into a relationship. So you can see over here, kind of not a surprise though, that New York and LA have good-looking people, I guess you could say, and therefore their rate of getting a relationship are lower, supposedly, I guess, because maybe they're dating more often and they're not really. The single percentage
is higher and the relationship formation rate is lower.
Yeah. Yeah, so lots of single people.
So you really like broke the statistics, because you left LA to go to New York.
Stream drop.
Did it drop?
It was just a hiccup.
No, sorry. We thought
it.
the stream dropped for a moment. Paul's now in the background making sure that everything's fine and letting us know that it's good. So
I mean, you broke the mold. You went from LA to New York and for your relationship, and came back to LA and still managed to hang on and get married. Look at you.
That's how it works out, guys. That is how it works out.
However, if anyone living in San Francisco right now is looking at this,
yeah, it's sort of bleak, right? I mean,
you guys got to get out and like start talking to people or something. I don't know. There's no help for you, apparently.
Yeah, they're saying cities like Milwaukee seem to shine as a great place for singles. So
that's because it's cold.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, you got to stay warm somehow.
grab somebody, anybody,
we do
right?
not have that problem here.
Yeah, so I'll scroll down and show you another graph that they have here. Current surviving relationships, so the relationships that have survived at least 3 months. So as it tapers off, there's a lower chance of you basically separating from that person, which, Jenny, you were saying before, you were not surprised at that. So if you make it past 3 months and then you can continue on, the longer the relationship is, the more likely it will last. Is that not surprising to you?
What was it? The more likely the chance of breakup hits 0.
Right.
And I kind of am applying the Fight Club principle to that on a long enough timeline, everybody's life expectancy drops to 0, so does your chances of getting dumped.
Oh, I guess that's true. So death doesn't count as being dumped, I suppose. But yes, that's very nice of you to bring that correlation here. But in terms of relationships, you mentioned a couple of really funny, like tech-related what is it? Pickup lines?
Oh, that's right. We were talking about tech-related pickup lines.
So what's going on with this?
Steve and I might intersperse this with a few pickup lines here.
Hit me with your best shot, Jenny.
All right.
What do you got?
Let me. Sorry, some of them are really, really inappropriate.
Inappropriate might be okay.
No.
No? Really inappropriate then.
Really? Yeah, I like this one. I think you should use this one sometime.
Okay.
See how Carrie likes it.
Okay.
If you were a web browser, you'd be called a firefoxy lady.
Oh God. What else you got? You got some more?
You make me feel like Windows 95 because you make me unstable.
These are so bad.
They are so bad.
Can you hit me with another one? Even if it's bad, like change the word.
Your homepage or mine.
Oh God. That was just horrible. All right. I've got a really funny one.
I don't mean to ogle you, but I'd sure like to Google you.
God. I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I am so sorry. Tina actually in the back office gave us a really good one. Oh God, go ahead. You first. Go ahead. What'd you find?
I must be using Apple Maps because I keep getting lost in your eyes.
Oh God. How accurate. Okay, so here's one for you, all right?
Okay.
Is your name WinRAR? Because you've got me wanting to unzip everything. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I'm sorry. Let me get rid of this right now.
All right, so viewers at home, please tweet to us your favorite tech-related, maybe not so tech-related, horrible pickup lines, and then we're going to pick a couple here in a little bit that we would like you to tweet out to Joanne.
Tweet them to us, like link us in with it. Either Jenny, which you can see down here at the bottom, is Jenny at Gearhead Girl.
What are you pointing at?
You're right here.
Oh,
see, so
yeah,
on this is what they
My Twitter.
Your Twitter's.
And it's there.
Yeah, and mine is right there.
Yes.
Just right there. So Steve OMG and Gearhead Girl 27. All right. So what do we have up next, Jenny? We're gonna read those back to you guys in just a moment. But,
and I'm already getting some really good ones. So
oh God,
we're gonna pick a couple and read them out loud here in a little bit. And
favorite the ones you like,
and have you guys retweet them to Joanne, or maybe we will. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, favorite them. You've already favored them. Good. All right. So our next story, Jenny, is actually one of your stories. This is Netflix. Something about Netflix. What's going on here?
Yes, this is really interesting. I was kind of intrigued by this just because I was looking at the GPUs that they are using to create the neural networks for Netflix, and basically, like, the statistics on these things are nuts. They're using the GeForce Grid K520 GPU, which has 1,536 Kepler cores.
Boom.
You know.
Drop it on you.
I wouldn't mind having that in my system at home. No reason why. Anyway, so basically what this thing does is it's creating a situation where it's able to see, what you're looking at on Netflix, so what you're watching, and then kind of anticipating what you're watching and learning your habits and stuff like that. And it's all capable of doing this, and it's running it through, a cloud server, and that's how Netflix works. But that's also how it comes up with your, suggested titles and things like that.
Okay.
And this brings up, a lot of really interesting questions outside of, the really cool hardware that's happening here. Thinking about things like entertainment is going to become so intuitive that they will only be creating content that you want to see. And so you brought up the show House of Cards.
Right, great show. If you guys haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend it. Check it out.
And Netflix knew you would like that because they basically data mined your watching habits and others' watching habits in the same demographic to determine what you would like to see, and then okayed a concept for a show that met those criteria.
Right, like most watched actor, most watched type of drama or whatever genre.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then threw it all together. That's fascinating.
How do you guys feel about that? Like, I kind of see it as a weird infringement on my privacy. And also, I don't think Netflix uses me at all because I watch such random stuff all the time. I'm probably not a very good example because I like to see everything. But I kind of find it interesting that they are using like these types of technologies, this neural network that they've, it's a simulated brain system basically that is calculating what you want to watch and when and what types of people watch certain kinds of shows. So I find it fascinating and oddly invasive.
I don't mind. I enjoy when Netflix throws me something, a curveball I didn't expect I would like to see, some show or whatever movie, because it has surprised me, happily I have to say. And I've watched a show that I never thought I would like and really enjoyed it. Fringe is a good example of that. I never thought I would really like Fringe, but I love it. I was also a big fan of X-Files, and Fringe was just kind of the newer version of that for me.
Right.
So yeah, I personally do not mind. I don't think what I watch in terms of TV is too invasive. If they were to do something like that on Facebook and say, this is a girl you might like, we've heard you're single, and this is all the criteria you normally like in girls.
Yeah,
that
based
would
on
be
your
weird.
stalking habits.
Yes, yeah. Oh boy, you like girls like Jessica Negri. Yeah, so that being said, I think that's another valid question to ask you guys. Do you feel the same way? Do you like that? Do you not like that? Do you have another point that you want to make about data mining and your personal desires on things?
Yeah, let's hear what your guys' ideas about data mining is in general, because I think that it's both one of the most powerful and possibly one of the most dangerous tools available to anyone who would be inclined to use it one way or another.
Right.
So it's kind of a fascinating area.
Can we refer back to the other question then, since we just asked another one? I want to kind of see what people are saying.
Oh, the Twitter pickup lines?
Yeah, let me bring up your tweets, and you can go down the line with these real quick. Start at the top and work our way down. Wow, I'm getting a lot. We got a ton more?
Yeah. You still use Internet Explorer? You must like it nice and slow.
That was very clever. Who was that?
That was Trey TV.
Here, hold on. Let me find the ones that you're looking at, and then I'll move up from there. Let's see. Boop, 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 boop.
Wow, Trey Hayden, Treyman96.
Why am I not seeing all your favorites?
I'm a little embarrassed to read this out loud, but it's too funny not to.
There it is. I see it.
He says, I was wondering if you'd like to go back to MySpace so I can Twitter with your Yahoo until I Google all over your Facebook.
Wow, very clever. That was a string. You did that.
That was an impressive synthesis of social media and search engines to get a very unique result.
You have to hit these favorited so I can show them to everyone else.
I favorited.
Oh, okay. I only saw the most recent.
I favorited that one, and I'll favorite this one. There you go.
We can show them that one. Okay. What else you got? Anything else in there? I should check mine too.
Wow, I'm getting tons of them.
Yeah, you can't leave me in the dark.
Jokes. Okay, Luke Walsh. Are you Google? Because you're everything I've been searching for. And Skyne said, I'd spray compressed air all over your hardware.
Oh God, this one from Trident MC we cannot say. Oh, that's pretty funny though.
Which one?
This one, right here.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we can't do that one. It's a good try though. It was pretty funny.
It's pretty funny.
Yes. The compressed air one's good. Did you just do that one?
Yeah.
Okay, let me refresh real quick and I'll show them. No, it's not showing up. Why isn't it showing up? I think it'll show up on mine. There we go.
Good job, guys.
Thank you, Nay. Yeah, very good job, guys. All right, so moving right along. Let's get this thing rocking.
Also, you know, you can put it up in the chat too. What you guys might think about data mining.
Yeah, we'll have Paul grab some information from the chat. So let's move along to internet speeds. This one is about Google basically developing 10 gigabit per second internet speeds. Essentially, they're jumping from 1, which is what currently Google is offering in a few choice cities for Google Fiber. And as more services are offered online, basically software as a service, more bandwidth is going to help you basically provide faster and more reliable connectivity over the net. But basically, they're trying to push this. And I know that it's not everywhere yet, so if no one really has 1 gigabit per second offerings and you're going to jump to 10 and no one else is, it's going to be even a smaller percentage. I mean, it's great that they're working on it. I think it's awesome that it's moving forward. The thing I guess when you look at the average global connection speed, you're looking at average in the world is only 3.6 megabits per second, and a gigabit is 1,000. So yeah, so massive difference there. And I've got a bunch of lists here of internet speeds around the world. But it basically leads me to ask everyone, including yourself, we'll start with you, do you feel that having a service over the internet like how Google Chromebooks, right? Chromebooks use almost everything over the network, or Google Docs, or any of the Google suite of software, primarily operates only over the internet. Is that something that intrigues you, interests you, or would you rather have Word, would you rather have software on your hard drive without the need of internet? I mean, what do you think?
I think that both are essential because you don't always have internet, so you can't always work on the things you need to work on, and also things that you want to work on privately. You know, you need the features of the software, but things like, you know, Creative Suite is almost all cloud-based now. You know,
Adobe Creative Suite,
yeah.
right.
So you buy the subscription for it, which I kind of like something like that because then you're always getting the constant updates. It's a hugely expensive software package to purchase. So I mean, it allows you to, you know, use it until you don't need it anymore, and then stop using it and stop subscribing to it.
Right.
And so I don't know. I think I see the up and downside. It's hard for me to play devil's advocate too much in the against. I still think some software is essential. I'll probably always have some form of, you know,
installed software somewhere.
Installed software. But I was kind of wondering with this, actually, it says that the Google Fiber is available in Kansas City, and I was wondering, is that the Kansas City was also trying to start their own municipal internet?
I don't think. I think that was a city in Canada, and I don't remember.
Well, there's been a few popping up that are trying to have their own municipally provided internet services, and I think from like a civic standpoint, from like a city standpoint, I think that is a great idea because I think that the money that people pay for their ISPs would be much better used by a city for city services and you know, enabling small businesses and stuff like that. I think it could be a really, really positive source of income for municipalities. I just really, it hurts me mentally when I see, you know, the big companies fighting against that because you know, I just like the greed is so blatant, and also like Verizon has decided recently that they have FiOS pretty much everywhere where they're gonna have FiOS, and if you don't have FiOS, oh well. So
yeah, that's sad.
So it's like leaving people with less and less choice, whereas if it was all kind of, you know, controlled by municipalities, then they could invest more in it, make it better. You know, maybe we could actually take advantage of something like 10 gigabit internet speeds. I don't think that as consumers we're ever really going to see this, maybe a few more years.
Right, if that even.
And we're going to pay a premium for it.
He's saying, I believe it was the CEO here. No, it's Pitch It. Yeah. So basically, Patrick, the CFO, he's saying it could be anywhere between. It might happen over a decade. It could happen in 3 years. He's not giving you a number, but definitely, I don't think it's going to be widespread either. I'm just curious if we really need it. I mean, I know that they're saying that there will be advantage of it, and there clearly will be. And I like the idea of a municipal or a sort of a government-based one, just maybe on a smaller government base, because I feel like once it gets beyond a city, there tends to be a lot more, depending on the size of the city too, a lot more greed and a lot more issue with controlling it, I guess, or making it more fair. Also, I like the idea of maybe like a WISP, like a wireless ISP. You don't have to have it wired, and that would give you internet anywhere. Go in your backyard, go in your house, go anywhere you want. And if the city is handling that, then it's just like, great, I have wireless internet for all my devices. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about getting an AT&T GSM chip or anything else to drop in my iPad or whatever else I'm going to use.
Just be able to, go to whatever business you want, and so that would facilitate the ownership of something like a Chromebook more readily, because you wouldn't have to worry about it if you're just, a college student or whatever, and you're going around town, from your one coffee shop to the next, or wherever you study. Then you don't have to worry about buying and keeping all of that software, and also you don't have to worry about not having internet. So.
Yeah.
It can swing a lot of ways. I just feel like there are so many really society beneficial advancements happening. It just makes me sad that we probably won't be seeing them until after a lot of struggle and legal nonsense.
Legal fighting, especially others trying to stop it from happening. So I just wanted to name some other internet speeds worldwide. So the average U.S. connection speed is 7.2 megabits per second. As of Q3 2013, Hong Kong is #1 for the average peak speed of 65.4 megabits per second. That is incredible. That is like having 100 megabit per second network connection in your household plugged in, but to the internet instead of anything in your household. You're shy by about 35 megabits per second, but I'm telling you, man, that's so quick. South Korea, really close, 63.6 megabits per second. Japan at 52 megabits per second. I actually thought Japan would own that one as #1, just because they're so awesome at early adopting everything. Singapore at 50.1 and Israel at 47.7. These came from Tom's guide here.
I'm impressed that Israel made the top 5.
Yeah, right? You would not have expected that.
I didn't expect it, but I guess also I'm impressed just because Israel, I think, as a country, a lot of people don't realize how advanced they really are in a lot of ways, not just their internet speed. But that is a conversation for another time.
Yes.
Okay, what else do we have? You had this one on Australian government crackdown on illegal torrents.
Yes, I did.
And
go ahead, Jenny.
My whole thought on all of this, and when we were talking about the Dutch government also trying to put a stop to Pirate Bay. All of it is, the same kind of thing. Is just because you make it illegal doesn't mean it's not gonna happen.
Because it didn't stop them, not even the slightest, and they realized they should
stop anybody here.
Yeah, no, it definitely won't.
Not anybody here, but anybody here.
Actually,
in the United States.
Actually, I
mean,
should specify.
This isn't getting better.
Yeah, no, I should specify though. It's probably the late '90s, and I was using Merc. Was the last time I downloaded anything, even before torrenting was well known. I never really liked point-to-point anyways, but I like the idea of torrenting. I like that. I mean, aside from sharing files that maybe other groups would consider them illegally being shared. I don't know. I like the idea of a network like that where it's no central hub and you can transfer data between one another semi-safely, because you can compare seeds and whatnot. But in terms of this, I mean, I'm going to agree with you. I don't think that this is going to make a massive difference. There's much more. I'm sorry to say it, but the people who make the laws are very detached from what actually happens. They're very detached from the technology involved. I don't think that they can make a law like this and law enforcement be able to keep up with it. I think the people who are behind the creation of the technology that is used to hide it are going to be. They're already ahead of us. They're ahead of anti-malware and antivirus companies. So they're definitely going to be ahead of law enforcement. I'm sorry to say. Or maybe I'm not that sorry to say. It's just maybe you guys should be hiring them. That's my outlook on that. And
there are some countries who just don't even bother. They don't bother with copyright law. Because they just can't enforce it.
Yeah.
And so it's a waste of money bureaucratically to even have laws about it and pay people to sit around drumming up the laws and then trying to enforce the laws. But good luck to you, Australia.
Yeah, good luck on this endeavor that you're having. The next one, what are we looking at? Science breakthroughs?
Yes, some science breakthroughs.
Let me scroll up here and show them what this looks like.
Stuff.
Wow, that looks pretty. Okay, so basically this is a story about graphene nanoribbon wires that are capable of carrying information thousands of times faster. It was written about 10 hours ago. Where are we on this? This is phys.org. And I didn't have a chance really to go over this very quickly. Did you have any thoughts on it? Did you have a chance to go over the story at all? Looks like
I've looked at some other things similar to it, and it's just really, really interesting how, you know, I feel like science fiction is starting to really emulate life, or life is starting to emulate science fiction rather, when it comes to nanotechnologies and the developments that they're creating.
This is fascinating to me because I like carbon nanotubes. I like the idea of them growing them. But
maybe give our viewers a perspective on how small.
Yeah, I believe this is 10 atoms thick. This is I believe 10 atoms in terms of 1 atom thick. So a single graphene nanoribbon on a gold surface measures just 1 atom thick, and the image was taken by a scanning tunneling microscope. So incredibly small. One of the passages here nail it pretty heavily. The conductivity and other electrical properties of nanoribbons are essentially defined by their dimensions. This in turn derives from their absolute atomic structure. Adding just 1 or 2 carbon atoms to a 15 atom wide ribbon, for example, degrades its ability to work at room temperature. So
in our Q&A email, I've been getting a lot of emails, people asking, you know, have processors maxed out in size, and what's the next thing? I would say this has to be the next thing, because scroll back up, it said something like this is capable of storing 10,000 times, or doing 10,000 times the amount of
data transfer
number of transistors per area on a computer chip.
Right. So that is exactly where they're going with this.
So there's your answer, viewer, whoever looked that up. I'll go back through the email later and I'll send them a link to this, but I would say that this is what we're looking at for the future for CPUs.
Very, very cool.
Eventually, you know, we won't even need them, because as they start developing this out of, like, think about like combining this with something like biotechnologies, and this is like an implantable thing, like it could be like the Matrix.
Yes.
Like we could just download whatever knowledge we need, and then we'll all be driving around the freeways really fast on motorcycles and flying helicopters and stuff.
With ninja swords.
With ninja swords.
With katanas. That'd be awesome.
Because you'll know how to use one. You might not have the muscle control to do it, but you'll know how to use one.
What was the last question we asked everybody? I think it was referring to...
Talking about data mining, but everybody on my Twitter feed at least is far more concerned with the bad pickup lines, which are still coming in.
Oh, really? Do we have some more funny ones? I'd love to hear some more. I'm good for that. Go for it. Give me some time to get my next set of stories ready for you.
Wow. Okay, some of these went real inappropriate real fast. Oh, but I like this one again from Trey Cubs TV. I'll favorite. Are you World of Warcraft? Because all I can say is wow. So bad.
We are
also
hopefully
don't Control-Alt-Delete my love.
Oh God.
Don't get the task manager out on that stuff. You know what? I think actually we need to.
What's up?
We need to acknowledge that we have met a live stream milestone.
Oh, we did? What did we do?
In this moment, I have made it 30 minutes of a live stream without saying the F word.
Oh my, that is...
Look at me.
I don't even know how. Paul, your take on that?
Did she curse?
Not yet. I made it 30 whole minutes.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. Jenny is not going to curse for the remainder of the show. Although we'll turn it into a drinking game if she does. Those of you who are 21 and older, of course. Yeah. Or in a country that it doesn't matter.
Right. I don't know what country that is, but I'd sure like to move there.
England's 18, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That doesn't mean
Ireland, I think, is at birth, isn't it?
Yes.
Just kidding. Because she's Irish. That's a joke on her. All right. So, Jenny, I'm ready for your first
Everybody's
story.
Applauding me for
not
saying the F-bomb.
That is fantastic.
This far into the stream. I made it! Okie dokie. So what's up next? Yeah, my next story was about the leak, the benchmark leak that happened. So basically this site, Antutu, leaked a benchmark for something from Asus that they're calling the Game Box, running Android 4.3, a NVIDIA Tegra 4, and a NVIDIA GeForce ULP. It has a screen resolution of 1280 by 720, and everyone is thinking Shield.
Yeah,
We've
Shield.
got the Shield competitor coming out.
There's a couple out there. They name them in the story, Ouya and Mad Catz Mojo, to name a couple, but yeah.
Yeah, there are a couple out there. Mad Catz
Asus
Mojo was
Shield.
cool when they brought it.
Did you like that?
Yeah, the
Pretty
Mojo
cool?
was great. That kind of warms my heart though, because I like the Shield a lot. I really think that it is a great portable gaming device. I like it better, and I'm not really allowed to say this too explicitly, but I do like it better than a lot of other handheld gaming devices. I think that's fair to say.
You like it better than your phone across the board?
Way more than my phone.
Okay.
I like the usability. I like the purpose, like how it's purpose built, how comfortable it is, and also like all of the other things you can do with it. It really is just a tiny little console, and you can carry it around with you everywhere. It runs Android, which I enjoy very much.
Excellent.
And I just have always felt that the Shield had great user friendliness, because for somebody who isn't a hardcore gamer to be able to just pick it up and really have an enjoyable experience on it, that's really saying something to me about a product. So I like that this market is growing again, because it used to be, you know, like handhelds were the thing. We had the Sega, we had the Game Boy, we had the PSP, then the Nintendo DS, and I mean it just kept evolving and evolving, but I feel like Sony and Nintendo have been really the only two contenders in the market for a long time. But I think that the Shield was very innovative. So I'm happy to see this, and it looks like it's got almost identical Shield specs.
Well, they've kicked up the Shield slightly from these numbers. I mean, basically, it is shooting it at 720. So I mean, it is displaying it at 720. But I mean,
this isn't moonshine, by the way.
It probably is. I can't say. It's too strong, the fumes from here. It could be moonshine, it could be vodka, it could be gasoline.
It's water. Gasoline.
Yeah, it's probably not water.
Only if it's 110.
Yeah, so I agree with you. I think that it would be nice to have more portable gaming devices out there, just because it's going to lower the prices of the ones that are currently out there. I think it's great for those. Sorry,
I've got a favorite. We've got a new pickup line.
Okay, hold on, let me refresh this.
That I think is awesome. Roses, or this comes from Evo Quakey.
Yeah, Brian Walker.
Yeah. He says, roses are red, violets are blue, our love is like my PC, a full custom loop.
That's clever.
Cheers to you if that was original. That was very good.
Yeah, I like that. That was good. I was just saying that in terms of the Shield and having more out there, I think that I have to agree with you. It's always better for the consumer in general to have that. What I'm waiting for is what I'm hoping for. No knowledge about this, no whatsoever. You know, this is just me thinking. I would love to see a new version of a Shield with like the Denver chip in it. That would be awesome, and then just really get a ton more horsepower in it. Yeah, and then, you know, just an even better screen. But yeah. So I think that'd be sweet.
Yeah, I think that especially with, you know, correlating back to that nano ribbon technology that we just saw, we're probably not too many years from having your Xbox being smaller, as small as the Shield, with its own screen in it that can have all of the games that you want to have, you know, all of the titles you want to have loaded onto it. You plug it into your TV when you want to play it on the TV. You take it with you.
Oh yeah,
you know,
just physical walk around with it.
Like if you could evolve the Wii U.
Or even the Shield, because the Shield has a console mode.
Yeah, so it has a console mode. But I think that the big consoles will probably also start steering that direction as we can make things smaller and more portable. I mean, when you think of it from a you know, from a
engineering standpoint?
Well, not just an engineering standpoint, but really just kind of a where's the market going standpoint.
Right.
The big consoles, you know, PlayStation and Xbox are going to want to maintain competitive edge, and everybody wants to be able to take everything with them all the time.
Yeah.
I can say, honestly, I would probably game a lot more if I could play the big titles on the go without carrying, you know, a 12-pound laptop around with me.
And a generator.
Mega
64 is an awesome
maybe just a guy with a backpack running behind me, you know, with like one of those World War II phone generator things, like cranking a handle constantly. All right, I'm going to pull out the BF4. Hang on. Run faster.
All right, so you want to move on to your next story here?
Sure. What is it?
This one is 10 crazy things 3D printers can make today.
The 3D printing stuff, yeah. I feel like when people think about 3D printing, if you're not following the market very closely, you probably are just seeing it as like printable, what I call dust collectors. So we, even here in the office, we have printed a variety of, you know, cute little figurines and trinkets and things that aren't particularly useful, but hey, it's cool, we printed it.
As well as a box of discarded ones that didn't live, that didn't make it.
Yeah.
Just like the deformed rejects, just in the big box.
A big box of like burnt filament from when like it was left on all night.
Yeah, we thought it was going to work.
Crazy.
25% said it was great.
But Mr. Lamb has really been following the 3D printing technology, and I have to say that I've caught his enthusiasm with it, especially when I started hearing about tissue printing.
Oh, yeah.
In the medical field and also in the prosthetics.
Oh, prosthetics as well.
Prosthetics, I think that's really important. The Sudanese people who have been, you know, victimized by just having a war-torn country all the time, you wouldn't believe the number of amputees there. And so 3D printing has made having, you know, arms, hands, legs affordable. And I think that that's just
affordable.
amazing.
Give me an example here. What is the current, like, maybe running rate for the hand or something?
I found an article actually of one that cost right about $100.
Oh, that's printed. So what is the normal going rate though for like a standard manufactured one?
For like a real prosthetic hand, you're looking at like $50,000.
50 grand versus $100.
Yeah.
Wow. That's massive.
And I mean, the price range is probably all over the place. I don't really know that much. I just know that, you know, you could be looking at like that one that can feel touch that we did the story for on Yoked. Who knows, millions probably for that one when you look at all the R&D and stuff. But anyways, I just think that if we're going to have this technology around, we should be using it for the greater good of all humanity. And one of the things you can print are body parts. So we have ears, kidneys, blood vessels, skin, and bone. Bone is actually being used. They aren't actually using cells for bone yet. It's a ceramic powder, and we actually saw some of that at CES. The ceramic powders that they can print out of.
Right.
When
it's very solid,
looked at
very
3D
hard.
systems, yeah.
Also, I mean, we already have hip replacements and whatnot that are obviously not organic.
Yeah, I found another story about like a guy who had a printed pelvis that allowed him to continue to walk after he had bone cancer.
Wow.
So that's the kind of thing that's cool. The kidneys, organs have not been found to be functional just yet, but
they're kidney shaped.
But they are kidney shaped.
The proper shape.
They came out correctly shaped. But I don't think, we're not far from there. So they can do things like a perfectly matched skin graft, if you can imagine, for burn victims, if they can perfectly match actual like face skin.
Had a buddy of mine go down on the freeway on his bike, and yeah, he was wearing nylon pants instead of padded jeans. Yeah, he was looking like 65. Lady clipped him and went across like 3 lanes. He had no time but to lock up the front wheel. Yeah, he went down and he was riding on his back, and when he got up, his cheeks were pretty much gone on his buttocks. Like literally, I know it's funny. It's really funny. He had to sleep on his stomach for a really long time.
I mean,
I imagine the itch is probably the worst, but. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he had to graft some of his skin from his leg up to there. So if he printed it, though, it'd be...
Yeah, if they could just print him a new butt.
Yeah. Why not an extra butt?
And why not a better butt?
Yeah. Why are we stopping at this? Give me some extra,
All right. So also, we can 3D print pizza.
I saw that. I scrolled down too far, and I was like, oop, I might have just given away that joke.
Yeah. So 3D printing pizza is cool. We had 3D printed...
NASA funded, of course.
We had 3D printed candy at CES.
We did. Very tasty. It was like... First, it was interlocking squares, right?
Yeah, they were little like chained cubes.
Chained cubes is a good way of describing it. And the taste was sweet at first, and then a sour end.
Yeah.
And it's because they printed it in layers, right? Oh my God, it was fat. It was like something out of Willy Wonka. Like, it was literally something out of Willy Wonka.
And they could do that, you know, because it's printed with like basically a pixie stick dust with some kind of binder.
Jolly Rancher binder, I think they said, or some kind of liquid. Yeah.
It was pretty cool, like how they did it. And the funniest part about that whole thing is the machine that printed the candy smelled like candy.
Oh my God, it was amazing.
I couldn't stop smelling it.
Like, so when you make brownies, right, or anything, and you're like whipping it, and you like eat the spoon afterwards, or like the little mixing little things, I would be eating the printer head at the end of that day. That'd be awesome. Okay, so we got more 3D printing.
I think Paul's having his own conversation, and Paul's answering all of the GPU questions today in the chat.
Thank you, Paul.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Also, you can print chocolate, you can print clothing, which I think this is really cool. We have a beautiful picture of Dita Von Teese here wearing a 3D printed dress.
This is, hold on, let me find more pictures of this. I will get a bigger version. Keep going, go. I'm listening.
Also, musical instruments and cars.
Cars?
Cars. This one's not very impressive to me. It has a 23 horsepower lawnmower engine in it. Steve.
What? That is fascinating. You guys got to see this. Hold on a second. There we go.
It's.
There she is. Hey, how you doing? Look at that. That is printed, everyone. Not the girl, the clothes. Okay, go ahead.
You just moved her stomach into our tweet section.
Oh, I did, didn't I? Damn it. There's your tweets, her stomach. How you like that? Okay, I'm sorry.
Anyway.
Please continue. Clothes, is that what we're talking about?
Cars, the Irby 2 looks more like a jelly bean than a car. It's pretty hideous, but we're getting there, folks. Also, houses, we talked about a 3D printed house. Guns, that's terrifying. Obviously, drones. And adult products.
I'm gonna skip that one. I'm gonna skip that one. That one's gonna go right next to drones. All right, so we got a couple more stories on 3D printing, right?
Yeah, so that all brings to mind like the average consumer. So you, me, our folks at home thinking about 3D printing. Who needs a 3D printer yet? And so that's why the market on 3D printing right now is so up and down. Like the average consumer still doesn't get it, but all of these different markets, you know, biomedical, automotive, they're all seeing like, oh yeah, no, this totally would work.
Because they know how to, they've been working with machine shops and CNCing,
manufacturing.
and it's a lot. I mean, just to make a model of something, to be created as your one of one, to like a proof of concept, that costs a ton of money. I mean, I remember trying to do something like that when I was in college, just to try and fix a door handle that I had that kept breaking, and there was just no way that I could have afforded doing that.
Right. But imagine, and this brings me to the next article, which is why you'll want a 3D printer in your home. Imagine if you could have just 3D printed a new doorknob.
Yeah, that's the thing. That door handle would have been awesome.
Imagine if you could 3D print a mixing bowl that just broke. Yeah. Or if you needed some kind of food storage container and you could print that really quick, or something like that. So what I see in this is a way for people to quickly and inexpensively manufacture a certain amount of consumer goods that they would otherwise go out and buy, you know, from Costco, like retailers, Costco, Walmart, Target, wherever. Wherever you go for those types of things. But what I think this will actually do is reduce smog and carbon emissions, especially in manufacturing countries. I'm not certain of what happens when the plastic is melted. I know that the fumes aren't, I mean, it's not going to affect the environment per se, but if you were in a closed environment where you didn't have, it wasn't well ventilated. What I'm thinking about is like the 3D systems printers that are printing everything off of a media dust instead of like the filament. I like that one. That's the best one. That's the only other problem I feel like. I stood right next to that thing. I couldn't smell anything. Except especially candy. Delicious. They had them enclosed too. Those like the top tier ones, and also on top of that, the filament that they use, the different types of material they use. It's kind of expensive, and Mr. Lamb was telling me about now. I know, and that's my only point. Is that when it gets cheaper, that's when it'll be mainstream. So that's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of a future where a certain amount of our household goods. Excuse me. No problem. Sorry. No. Pizza for lunch. Okay. A certain amount of our general small consumer goods, like little knick-knack things or tedious little things that break around the house, we'll just go print a new one. That'll be awesome. Instead of just like, running out to Walmart and purchasing another one, which, when you follow that item back to where it came from in the manufacturing process, isn't that great for the planet. So I think that this might actually provide us with a balance for those types of consumer goods.
Especially if you can take that material and remelt it again back into filament or something you can reuse. I think what will probably happen though is the bigger businesses like Walmart or Home Depot will start doing it themselves. They will say, bring in your 3D object and we will print it for you. That's what I believe is going to happen. That's the trajectory I think we're headed in.
So, and before you know, anyone accuses me of being like a total tree hugger or whatever.
Really?
See, what I think is that
hippie?
this is going to save more gas for me, so that when I want to go drive really fast.
That's what I'm going to point out. So they do all the parts you've created in that day,
yeah,
that cold air intake.
Less demand for gasoline. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. If I could print a cold air intake.
Did you just come up with that idea?
It just hit me.
Did it just hit you?
If I could
Fascinating how she can do this, guys.
If I could just print my mods, like, can you imagine printing it? Yes.
Yes, that's why I said
printing a turbo.
Whoa. Yeah, I guess you could metal.
We can print metals now.
I would still rather have the casted ones. I would still rather have casted.
Definitely stronger.
Yeah.
But think about like all the mods you could do. Like, what if you drive?
DSMers unite everywhere.
Yeah, DSMers unite. It's another way to keep it alive if you drive an Eclipse.
Yes.
God
They'll find a way. They'll find a way.
Anyway, but I was thinking more along the lines of what about like classic cars where you can't replace.
They don't physically exist.
Right, you can't get a replacement like reflector for one. But if you had a 3D scan of a good one, you know, you borrow your buddies or whatever. Hey, let me 3D scan that. Print one.
Yeah.
And so that way we can keep, you know, classic cars on the road and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, 3D printing.
Yeah.
She's
excited, guys.
It's the way of the future, everybody.
She's excited.
Right now, we're printing little silly pickle men or whatever that guy is.
He is a pickle.
But in the future,
it's a peanut.
It's going to be racing seats and
holding a chassis.
And you know, whatever.
Yeah, no, racing seats would be fantastic, especially when they're talking about printing carbon fiber. That's when I was like, oh, car parts immediately as soon as I heard that. Lighter, stronger.
Okay, so that ends my tangent on 3D printings.
But I like this next one.
So the next one I found is a problem-solving robot colony based on termites. We can actually show you guys the little video here.
After this advertisement goes through.
It's okay, it's from Intel. We can watch it.
I'm going to hide it. so you can't see it. Sorry.
So these folks designed some robots that have basic problem-solving skills, and they can build out of blocks, you know, a very rudimentary colony using just general, you know, critical thinking. So if something's in my way, I need to pick it up and place it somewhere else. And so they have their two little buddies, and the two little buddies keep finding the little blocks, and they go and they move it. Like, see, here he is. He finds this little block,
look at him.
He puts it on his head, turns around, and
Where are you going with that? Where are you going with that?
Is there one over here? Is there one over here? No, no, no. Where do I want to put it? I think in front of me would be good.
What we need to do...
I need to build a bigger path. So I'm going to put this one here.
Line it up with its little robot eyes.
And now my little buddy has come
What is the name of that movie? Trine or something with that blade, the wheels. They look like the blade the guy throws. What movie is that? It's old school, 80s. Come on.
Nope.
Paul, when the video catches up with you, what do those robot wheels look like to you? It is from a movie. They have like these weird alien things. There's a oh no, what's it called with the single eye? What's that mythical thing called with the single eye?
Cyclops.
Cyclops, thank you. It's got Cyclops in the movie, and he throws these things. It looks like that blade. Paul, come on. No? Man.
They're reminding me of that thing you could buy in the 80s was like a toy car, and the wheels had claws that would come out of the wheels.
Oh yeah, I do remember the claws.
I forget what that was called.
I forget too.
Like when it hits a rock or something, the claws come out of the wheels and lets it climb over.
Okay, anyway, back to robotics.
Yeah. So we need to militarize this and make bridges.
Yeah, probably. That's probably one of the most practical applications for something like that. But think about any kind of construction. How about construction in areas where it's difficult for humans to sustain the climate?
Right.
You know, so here's, you know, our colonization of Mars or the moon or whatever. We've got these little robots who have their building materials. They're programmed with a little, you know, structure, but they're also intelligent enough to know, well, the ground's uneven here, the ground's unstable here.
Kroll. Thank you. Thank you. Who? Was it someone in chat?
Several people.
Who in chat? Thank you.
Dead
Thank you.
77.
Thank you.
It was going to make him crazy. It was seriously, it was going to make him crazy.
Thank you, NBC77. Is that what you said?
My God.
Dead BC. Thank you.
My goodness.
Somebody else with the same mind. You and I. We got this. All right. Also, Unnecessary RoboCop remake, by the way. Saw it. Really funny. Actually, it's really weird. 55 different filmmakers. I tweeted about it a while ago. Anyways, I'm getting off task. Just because it popped up here.
Yeah.
It's really funny. It will probably annoy you, but it's funny. And then on to something from Coffee Stain Studios, just because
why not?
Yeah, I mean, it's 3:49. We got a couple minutes. Let's talk about goats.
Goat Simulator. So the basic premise of this game apparently is you are an angry goat running through your farmyard. You attack people and things.
This is a train wreck. I can't stop watching. This is fascinating.
I would buy this game.
There's an axe being swung around the neck of the goat. Do you see that?
Yeah. Oh, wow, you're right.
Nunchucking axe goat.
Goat axe murderer. Goats will knock you down, but they don't usually use axes to do it. They just come and knock you over, which is why I thought this was so funny.
He's incredibly adept at it, though.
So what are some ways we could develop this into like a social game? Like, what are some things that the goat simulator needs in order to be really successful?
It needs its own Twitch channel, and I would watch it. Like, I'm fascinated just watching this loop. If I saw someone else playing this game, I would watch this game.
What about something like an FPS with goats, where like you and 16 of your buddies all get together and
a first-person goat shooter.
Yeah.
I'm loving the third person so far.
And you can figure out what you shoot. I mean, it could be
an axe.
You maybe two of you have to get alongside of one of your buddies who's one of the goats, and you back him up to somebody and squeeze. I don't know.
I really don't know. I could see Kyle being a really good troll at this game. He would just you have to be the people. That's probably the best way to play this game.
Somebody have to be the people.
People, and then one person or two people are goats. And they're just, you know what I'm saying?
The zombies versus humans style
right,
games,
and like maybe there's
sometimes you're the zombies, sometimes you're the humans.
Right, something like that. And someone help me out here. Coffee Stain Studios.
Left 4 Dead is like that, right?
Yeah. I think because it's a versus mode because you're 4 and 4 as opposed to like Contagion where you start all the same.
So Coffee Stain Studios, we need a versus style goat simulator where sometimes people can be the goat, sometimes people can be the human. They can form cooperative teams.
I think they made
whatever that looks like to you.
Coffee Stain. I'm trying to remember what else they made. I love this. Look at this, you guys.
A happy goat.
Goats are really cool, though.
I love goats.
Have you ever petted a goat? Their little head is very small.
If I could get to it quickly and share it with you, I would
Sanctum
show you.
2. That was the game.
I'd show you
That's a great game
of me
too.
Holding a goat.
They're
Goat
baby
Life
goats.
3. I love this.
Goat
I'm reading
Life.
some of our folks in chat.
Yeah, read off some of their opinions of
Goat of Duty.
Oh yeah, the game that never changes. You love it.
The new DLC Goatfield 4, Animals Rising, Goatcraft, World of Goats.
Oh my God, you guys are great.
Goatfield 4 confirmed. Oh, I love it.
Oh.
A goat platformer.
This is fantastic. Some of the questions they ask are really funny too. They're interviewing him, right?
Yeah.
They're asking Coffee Stain, from what sources did you draw inspiration during development? It's like goat simulators, and honorable first chairman Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong-un.
I can never say his name right. I'm sorry. What sort of difficulties have you faced during development? Well, at times we had some issues with bugs in Goat Simulator. We couldn't tell them apart from the features. So that should tell you a lot about the game right there. I'm interested. I love a good train wreck game. I got Jenny the car.
Oh,
what's that called?
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. Car Mechanic Simulator that you bought me.
Let me just look that up.
On my new gaming system, I have been playing some games, getting into it, and I've been playing the Car Mechanic Simulator 2014. And there, right away, I've had some significant issues with this game.
I'm surprised.
One of the most annoying ones is that the whole premise is you're a car mechanic and you get orders come in and you get a little list of like what you need to do and you're like, okay, checking off stuff on your list. And one of them, like, you have to change an air filter in a car, which is really, really simple. And seriously, everybody, I think you should know how to change your oil, change your air filter, change your wiper blades, and change your brake pads before you should even get a driver's license.
I think it's beneficial.
Those four things should be required of you to drive in this country.
Definitely think it's beneficial to learn that. I don't know if they should, because then, you know, how would Walmart make money?
You should really learn how to do that on your own.
It's so inexpensive at Walmart.
Anyway, so I'm trying to change the air filter, and it won't let me take the airbox cover off.
Right.
It's saying no removable parts.
Right.
And I've kind of gotten stuck there, where it's like no removable parts, no removable parts. I'm like, well, then I'm going to get a hammer and smash it.
You could do that.
Would be my next answer. You know, you can't.
I know.
Because you can't choose the tool that you use on it. So you just kind of have like, you just kind of have to know the general area of what you're trying to grab.
I believe there's a small area in front of the airbox, I want to say, that needs to be removed first, and it's not intuitive. And also the mode that you're in to disassemble, which you probably figured out, right? Because you've already played, so that's the only thing.
Assemble, click again to disassemble, to switch between assemble and disassemble mode. So you need to disassemble, obviously, before you can assemble. And it won't let me. And
such a shame.
I was able to change the fuel filter. I was able to do the brake pads. I was able to do, like, fuel filters, actually, if you've ever done it, is not a fun job or an easy job. But in the game, it was like, oh, there's the fuel filter.
But
done.
To be fair, you already have a lift in the game too. That's a lot of people don't have that. Also, the filter, depending on the model, is in different areas, and sometimes more than one filter too, right? So I felt like this is the easiest I've ever done a fuel pump. It's like, sweet. So
I felt it about it too, but I couldn't. Like, I haven't been able to get past that. I like the
test lot.
The car test lot, but you know, you have to go through so many of.
You drive my car in a car test lot like that, dude, I'm never coming back to you. I'll tell you that right now. That chip tuning, this is great. This is fantastic.
I love this. Danger to the manifold.
Yes,
Get your laptop out and Dyno Pro. Dyno Pro! Oh my gosh, that's funny.
See? You like it.
No, I think Dyno Pro is funny, because wasn't Dyno Pro a fake car diagnostic? Isn't that?
Oh, I don't think that it's real. Yeah, I'm not sure though.
I think they're making a Fast and Furious funny
reference right there. Yeah,
I think so.
Nice, good. I like that. Those are good jokes.
So other things I have been playing. I tried to play Chivalry for a little while.
How'd that work out?
I died in training twice.
In training?
In training.
That is remarkable. Most people make it to training.
However, it did inspire me to take up archery for reals.
What?
So
no.
Look at me. Look for me trying to shoot Kyle in future videos.
Ooh, I like this. Did you get like the?
We'll be practicing William Tell later.
Did you get the Hawkeye? Like, whips up and this get out. Anyways, all right, guys, we're literally dragging this one along. We want to appreciate you guys, and we want to thank you guys. I should say, we really appreciate you watching everything that we throw at you and always supporting us. You guys are so awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I wanted to hand it over to Jenny. What would you like to tell everybody before we part ways?
Keep tuning in. Tell your friends. You know, we're going to be doing this. We want to be able to continue doing our live stream, and without viewer support, we can't have it. Yep. So please tune in every Friday at 3 p.m. And also thank you all for all of your great support on our newly scheduled content. We really appreciate it.
I just thought of one more thing, actually. On that note of our new content, you guys, of course, know that we have our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Newegg, and that we also have two yokes a week now, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Also, Jenny heads up Q&A, which is on Wednesdays, and rounding out the week, we have Fridays here on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Newegg. The forwarder should be working. If it doesn't, twitch.tv/Newegg TV. But beyond that, we actually want to know, what do you guys think about what's happened with the content? Can you shoot those emails over to us?
Yeah, shoot it over at to Q&A@gmail.com. We'd love to know how you guys feel about the new schedule. If you think that there's enough product videos, if you think there should be more product videos, you know, tell us what you want to see, because we're definitely all about pleasing our viewership.
Absolutely,
we
are.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, and we also want to send you off to Linus, which should be starting up here in about half an hour, to the WAN show, and he's at twitch.tv/Linus Tech Tips, I want to say. Paul, is that right? I kind of forgot his Twitch. I forgot Linus's Twitch off the top of my head. You guys probably already know what it is.
Linus Tech or Linus Tech?
Linus Tech, I think that's what it is. Yeah, Linus Tech. Now I'm going to check, just because.
We don't want to give you bad information while we're plugging somebody else's show.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, go say hi to Linus and Slick PC and Luke.
And everybody over there.
Yeah.
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel.
So, all right, well, thank you guys so much. We want to wish you again a happy Valentine's Day, and we wish you to have a happy Friday and a great weekend. And thank you guys once again.
See you later.
Bye.